Welcome to another Fox 411 and Kiss Country Neighborhood News. It's all brought to you by CG Public Health. They're located at the Plaza West Shopping Center or at cghealth.com. Easy does it when it goes online. You can just look them up and get all the latest information. And we have a gal by the name of Kathy County joining us here today. Now, she's not with CG Health. She used to be. But Kathy, why don't you introduce yourself and where you are now?
Kathy County. I live here in Mason City. I'm part of a group called the Pink and Teal Warriors. Many years ago, I did work for CG Health. Currently, I work at Ag Ventures Alliance. But today I'm here because of the Pink and Teal Warriors. And I'm actually a 13-year breast cancer survivor. So that's why I'm part of this group. And October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and that's what we're trying to spread is awareness of that.
Right.
So how long has the Pink and Teal group been around?
We formed earlier this year.
Oh, okay. The brand new.
Penny McCaslin from Saragoro Public Health. She contacted some of us in the community as part of the Care for Yourself program that she's in charge of there at Public Health to see if we could form a group to help spread awareness of breast cancer. So
yeah, how do you do
kind
that?
of taken off with that.
Right. How do you do that, Kathy? How do you spread the awareness?
Well, we're trying to do that by working together. We've got billboards out there that we've been putting up. There's bus wraps, radio interviews such as this.
Yeah, we're part of that.
Pink ribbon handouts, we've got church bulletin inserts, social media. We've done the Mason City proclamation at one of the meetings. We're encouraging people to put pink lights out. Mercy has their pink ribbon on top of the building this month, if you've seen it at night when you drive by. So we're encouraging businesses to put pink lights out or at homes. We've got a couple different events coming up that we're a part of. For instance, on Tuesday, October 24th, at Applebee's as part of their Together We Care Tuesdays. We will be there on site from 4 to 8 to talk to people about breast cancer and how to become part of the Pink and Teal Warriors or just to help spread awareness. And any funds raised from that day, because you can order from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From 5 different menu items. And you can do dine-in, carry-out, delivery. And so any of those 5 items that are ordered, 50% of it will go towards the Pink and Teal Warriors.
Nice.
And those funds will go towards community outreach, potential events such as a future awareness walk and a survivor spa day type of event. So that's one of the events coming up. And then October 28th is the Ladies Expo with the Care for Yourself program, where we'll be signing women up for free physical exams and mammograms.
Now, how soon should a woman get checked with a mammogram? Is it like 40? Is it 30? Is it?
Well, the kind of age has kind of been changing a little bit. 40 is a good time. 13 years ago, they were saying to get in between 35 and 40 for a baseline. So you had that baseline in. I was kind of one of those ones that delayed that. And so my 40th birthday had passed. I was 6 months past that. And finally, I was going to go work with a friend of mine who had just gone through cancer treatments for this exact thing. And I'm like, well, I can't go work with her and not have had mine.
Right.
And so that's what finally caused me to go in. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, it was discovered at my first one at age 40.
Wow.
Well, Kathy,
And
we appreciate you coming forward here, being very courageous to tell us about this, but it is to get the awareness out there. I got to ask you, and maybe you said it, maybe I missed it, but I get the pink part of it. What's the teal?
the teal is for cervical cancer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and
What-
that's in
what-
that's in January. Cervical cancer has the month of January.
Oh, okay. All
But
right.
also blue or kind of a teal color is also for male breast cancer awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, this week is actually male breast cancer awareness week.
There's actually people don't realize that. People think a lot of people think that it's just for women, but actually men can get breast cancer as well.
Yes, they can. And in fact, the Care for Yourself program also that is part of at public health, that men can also participate in that too.
Do you
Do
go
we
to-
have a lot of men that get diagnosed
One
around here?
in, I'm not sure around in the Mason City area, but I
Mhm.
know one in 833 will be diagnosed this
Wow.
year.
Wow. Wow. That's
So it's, I mean, it's not as frequent as you think, but it does happen.
mhm.
Do you go to the same doctors as you ladies do, or is it something different?
You know,
You don't wanna snub
initially,
ya.
I'm not
Well,
sure.
he actually raises a good point here because, I mean, you don't think of men going to get a mammogram,
Right. You
right?
don't. I mean, after you're diagnosed, of course, you're going to the same doctors.
Right.
But typically it's probably just, your general doctor that you're going to see, thinking that, you have something wrong. And then he's going to start that process.
I mean, how many guys are going to be sitting around the table going, "Hey, tomorrow, boys, I'm going for my mammogram"?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I mean,
Or do they call it something different for men?
is it the same thing?
It's still what it's a mammary gland, right? But isn't that I don't know. I thought that was maybe a woman's term. I don't know. We're
And
men.
you know,
We don't know.
I'm not sure really on the details of that part of
Yeah.
it.
Interesting though. I mean, because
And what?
you're right. That's something that we probably don't hammer home maybe enough is to get checked out whether you're a man or a woman
Right.
for that matter, because it can happen. I know some rock stars that went through breast cancer. You know,
Well,
what a
and
mi-
I know as I went through my treatments, one of the things I did have, since I didn't have a family history of this, one of the things I did do as I went through treatment was have genetic testing done.
Mm,
And so that way I would know if my children, if it was something that I needed to be
Sure.
overly concerned with for my children. Because at the time I have three, and one would have been going into 12th grade, one going into 10th, and one going into 4th grade.
wow.
And so I wanted to know,
Right.
and so I had the testing done. And fortunately at the time my insurance covered that cost. A lot of insurances don't cover the cost of that genetic testing.
Hmm.
And I did find out I was not a carrier of the BRCA gene, so that was good.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had been, they test all 23 pairs of chromosomes to see which one. And if I had indeed had it, it would have allowed my family members to be tested at a much cheaper, affordable rate, because they would have known which chromosome to test. So they would have been able to plan, to go be tested and then kind of have a game plan in place
Sure.
potentially. And which to me was important, especially for my sister, because her husband had just passed away a couple years before that, and she was a single parent. So I kind of wanted to, know for her and for my children what may be down the road.
Right.
Are all of the pink and teal warriors, are you all survivors?
Not all of us.
Okay.
Quite a few of us are. My sister is part of the group, and she is not, but she's a support person,
Mhm.
or what we would call a support person that helped, when I was going through.
What so besides the events that you told us about, and again, those are coming up, Applebee's on October 24th, and what was the
Correct.
second one? What was the second day?
The Ladies Expo on October 28th.
Okay. What's the message today that you would like to get out to everyone out there right now? Because
It's
this is part of that awareness.
right. The message is to go and get those mammograms, to
Mhm.
get that baseline, so that they have that baseline test, and that way each year when you go back, they have something to compare it to. You want that early detection. You don't want to have to wait,
Mhm.
they know each year what they're looking at, what has changed, what hasn't changed. You want that early detection, so you're you do have that increased survivability. um we don't want you to.
So, how do people get more information about this? About especially the pink and teal warriors?
They can contact Penny McCaslin at Public Health,
Mm.
and her number is 641-421-9315.
Is there a
And
website or Facebook page?
we have a Facebook page
Okay.
called Pink and Teal Warriors.
Yep.
And they can, of course, also go to cghealth.com.
There you go. Just like what we're scrolling for those of you watching on video, it's right there at the bottom of your screen. For those of you listening, yeah, the Facebook page is Pink and Teal Warriors, and all the information right there, which is great. So, why is this so important to you, Kathy? Is it just because you went through it, or I guess do you have more than just that reason, or what?
I mean, a lot of it is because I went through it. I never thought I would be somebody that
Mhm.
had it, obviously, because I delayed going to get mine.
Mhm.
And then, you don't realize until you've been through it how many people it does affect. And at the time I did go through it, um, I went to work at State Farm, Clint Thomas's office out there. And the friend I was going to work with was Lori, and she had just gone through treatment. And poor Clint, he had Lori who had just gone through treatment. I was coming into working there and having to go through treatment.
Mhm.
And then Jane, who also worked in the office, she had come into his office and she had already been through treatment at a previous agent's office. So he had three women in the office that
Oh
had
no!
gone through breast cancer.
Oh,
Wow. Well, don't they say? And I might, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say like 1 out of 3. Does that sound right? 1 out of 3
Um,
cancers affecting people, and that could be just cancer in general, not breast cancer,
yeah, I'm not sure on quite on that number for
which is high.
sure, but
That's really high. Yeah.
I mean, it seems like I don't know if it's being just more talked about, but you're hearing about it more frequently.
Mhm.
mhm.
Um, I, you know, I don't know if people think it's more common
Mhm.
that, but
Well, it seems
the
to be.
well, and the thing too is we want the awareness out there too about it, but um, I think people think it's easy to get through it, and to get treatment, get through it, and it's kind of not a big deal anymore. Also, but getting through treatment, people go through a lot going through treatment, and then after treatment, there are still side effects from the treatment that you're going to deal with down the road.
Mhm.
But you have to get through that treatment, so you're here.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And what?
Well, again, Kathy, appreciate the courage to come forward here, telling us about the Pink and Teal Warriors. I'm sure If you go through Pink and Teal Warriors, if you want to be part of this organization, the word basically is early detection. So get out
Yes.
and get yourself tested. And again, if you have questions, cghealth.com, always there. Just go get online. Phone numbers are right there as well. So, but Kathy, thanks so much for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me.
You
Yeah,
bet.
thanks, Kathy.
Jay, wrap us up.
That's it for the 411, Fox 411, and the Kiss Country Neighborhood News, all brought to you by CG Health, cghealth.com.